Imagine this. Your whole life, you've fought, bled, and sacrificed to reach the top. And in one crushing moment, it's all ripped away. The Super Bowl is over. The Kansas City Chiefs have lost. The stadium is silent. And then, boom, on live TV, a reporter throws the most brutal insult at Travis Kelce. Millions are watching, waiting for him to explode. But what he does next? No one saw it coming. This moment didn't just shock the world. It changed everything. Stay till the end, because what happened after this interview left even his biggest critics speechless. The stadium buzzed with a strange silence, the kind that only follows heartbreak. Confetti still rained from above, but it wasn't for the Kansas City Chiefs. The opposing team celebrated on the field, their players embracing, some falling to their knees in joy. Cameras flashed, reporters scrambled, and in the middle of it all, Travis Kelce stood motionless, staring at the scoreboard that confirmed what he already knew. Defeat. It wasn't just a game. It was the game. The Super Bowl. The one they had fought for all season, the one they had bled for. And now, it was gone. The pain wasn't just physical, it was something deeper, something that curled inside his chest and made it hard to breathe. A sharp gust of February wind cut through the field, making his sweat-drenched jersey cling to his skin. In the distance, he could hear the roars of victorious fans, the laughter, the champagne bottles popping. Meanwhile, Chiefs fans stood frozen, their faces pale, their hands on their heads in disbelief. Kelce exhaled, his breath visible in the cold night air. He had lost games before. But this was different. "Travis, over here!" A reporter's voice cut through the noise. He turned, spotting a familiar face. A well-known sports journalist, famous for his sharp tongue and no-nonsense attitude. The man held a mic, an eager glint in his eye, already sensing an opportunity for a viral moment. Kelce adjusted his posture, bracing himself. The camera light flicked on. They were live. "So, Travis," the reporter started, a smirk tugging at his lips. "Tough night, huh?" Kelce gave a small nod, jaw clenched. The reporter leaned in. "Tell me, do you think your team lost because you didn't step up? Or do you think Mahomes deserved better tonight?" For a second, everything froze. A low murmur spread through the nearby crowd. A few gasps, a couple of stunned glances exchanged between crew members. The audacity of the question hung in the air like thick smoke. Kelce blinked. The insult hit hard, not just because of the words, but because of what they implied. That he had failed, that he had let his team, his fans, and his quarterback down. His fingers twitched. His heartbeat pounded in his ears. He could feel a dozen different emotions bubbling under the surface. Anger, exhaustion, frustration. It would be easy to snap, to fire back, to say something sharp and brutal that would be replayed 1,000,000 times by morning. Instead, he did something that no one expected. He smiled, a slow, tired, almost knowing smile. The reporter hesitated, clearly thrown off. This wasn't the reaction he was hoping for. Kelce exhaled and tilted his head slightly. "You ever had a day where you gave everything you had, and it still wasn't enough?" His voice was calm, steady. The question hung between them, unanswered. The reporter shifted uncomfortably. He opened his mouth, then closed it. Kelce continued, his voice quieter now, almost as if he were speaking to himself. "Man, it hurts. But that's life, isn't it? Some days, you win. Some days, you don't. But the way you treat people? That's the part that matters." The stadium noise seemed distant now, drowned by the sheer weight of the moment. Millions watching at home leaned in. This was real. This was raw. This wasn't some pre-rehearsed PR statement. It was a truth so simple, yet so powerful, that it hit everyone listening like a punch to the gut. And then, the unexpected twist. Kelce's eyes flickered with something deeper, understanding. He glanced at the reporter, studying him for a moment before adding, "I read about you once." The reporter blinked. "What?" "Yeah," Kelce nodded, a small smirk forming. "How you lost your first big gig, how people doubted you. But you kept going." The shift in energy was palpable. The reporter's face changed. First confusion, then something else. Guilt. For the first time, the man holding the mic looked uncomfortable being under the spotlight. Kelce chuckled softly, shaking his head. "Man, I know how that feels. To get knocked down, to have people question you, but you didn't quit, did you?" Silence. The reporter swallowed hard, his usual cocky demeanor now absent. Millions watching could see the shift in his expression. This was no longer an interview. It was a lesson. A long pause. Then, quietly, the reporter muttered, "No, I didn't." Kelce patted him on the shoulder, his voice gentle. "Neither will I." And with that, he walked away. The clip went insanely viral. Within hours, social media exploded with praise. Travis Kelce just gave the classiest response ever. This is why he's a legend, not just on the field, but off it too. The most unexpected plot twist in a sports interview. Even celebrities and athletes weighed in, calling it a masterclass in handling criticism. But the biggest surprise? The reporter himself. The next day, he posted a tweet that stunned everyone. "Travis Kelce taught me something last night. Sometimes strength isn't about what you say, it's about what you don't." The story wasn't just about football anymore. It was about resilience, about handling defeat with grace, about choosing kindness, even when it wasn't deserved. And in the end, that's what people remembered. Not the loss, not the Super Bowl score, but the way Travis Kelce turned an insult into inspiration. If this story inspired you, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. And let me know in the comments, what's the classiest way you've handled criticism?